are we on the precipice of something that's about to change? I know you were talking about this before, where during the 1970s or whatever, during the Vietnam War, people were still talking about inflation and like the end of the world, all that stuff, right? But I don't know. Like before, it's like sure it could have happened, but there's a lot of things that are like you can't go back on. And what I mean is like AI, this UFO stuff,
Yeah.
like the nuclear. I just heard on a podcast that, because I've been paying attention to the Russia thing, but Putin backed out of the nuclear agreement,
hmm
something like that. So it's like, it's like, we're all not going to use nukes, and he's like, no, I'm backing out of this deal.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you have so many things in play. Did we have as many things back then?
Right.
You know,
I don't know. There could be
like
new.
globalization's so
Oh
like if one thing
It's not
messes up,
always.
so many things
Yeah,
mess up.
it's not always the exact same, but for instance, like let's say the UFO. UFO
Yeah.
could be a real thing, but they could be like pushing that now more so that they can increase their budget for the military. Like let's use it
Could
that,
be, yeah,
right?
could be.
So it's like this is a way. Like before, it would have been like the fear
War.
of something, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a fear of another country, or like at that Cold War or whatever it was, right? So it's like that was instigating for them to put more money into military. Now they can't really do that. That's not going to work as well. So let's put this UFO thing and cause.
Interesting. So your point of view is the UFO thing could be a means to bolster up the military industrial complex.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
That is a good theory, actually. I've never thought of it like that. But I've just been listening to so many, like the Jeremy, Bob Lazar, that guy.
No, I'm
So
not
he
saying
came
they're
out-
not real. I'm saying that they could use those real things
No, for sure.
as a way to,
to increase their budget.
increase
Totally.
the budget, yeah.
But okay, so that's like a human game we're playing.
Mhm.
But Bob Lazar, the guy who made the Jeremy Corbell, the guy who made the Bob Lazar documentary. I don't know if you saw it on Netflix.
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, it's really good. Only because they're not talking about aliens so much. They're talking about like him as a person, and they're trying to like build his credibility. Anyways, it's a different topic. But he came out with a podcast, and they're just talking about all the evidence. And I've been like binging it. I'm like, oh, dude, this is so undeniable. You have people within the military giving their testimony on this podcast. And then Eric Weinstein, I just started listening to it, is like a physicist. And the only reason why he went on the Joe Rogan podcast, like they're friends and they do like a lot of podcasts, but Joe wanted to have him on for this specific episode because they were like up late at night talking about the reality of UFOs and like what this can mean from a physicist perspective. So Joe's like, we need to capture this. And it's like, okay, if all these people are taking it seriously, there's something going on here, but we're not like paying attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing that you can't go back on. Like sure, back in the day there was the Vietnam War, but we're talking about aliens, bro. Like this opens the door to so much more. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're like right at the edge of something that we can't turn back on. Like AI too.
Right.
It's
right.
kind of weird. Remember that person? Did you read that thing where I was like, most of their job was done through AI, and I texted you guys what? Like, what? Give AI the job then, bro. Like, but everyone's using it. So like, what does this mean? You know, this is what's scaring me because I'm like, I don't like it's making you less competent.
Yeah, we don't know. I'm not saying like history necessarily repeats itself, but there are a lot of new things that are happening. So we still don't know what would happen in the future. We don't know
for sure
what all these things mean and what are the ramifications of all these things. Yeah.
But to go back to the beginning where you're like in the beginning it was like this, and then through time we just lost the message, and now it shifted, right? Unintended consequences. Like were they trying to rule people, or is just the best way they could structure it, and then we had all these unintended consequences. And I feel like with AI, there's a lot of unintended consequences that could go on. But I'm the only one, like you too, like the only people that are really paying attention to it are the only ones that are kind of worried. Like on a
No, it's
day-to-day
been
superficial level.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on a
Yeah.
superficial level, everyone's like, well, "Why are you afraid of AI?" And I'm like,
But this is
"No,
how it
like
happens,
on a
though.
psychological, you're right.
This
That's
is
what I
how it
mean. It's like
happens.
that's what an unintended consequence
Yeah,
is. Like you
yeah,
just like putting people in castes. It's like, no, we're just trying to organize things. It's like, no, but if you think about it, that could lead to a lot of
yeah,
problems.
yeah.